Okay, hello Kaplan students. Uh, Even at 6:15 in the morning here, we'll try to be happy and upbeat. So, what we're going to go over today is topic number 4 on page 99, which is the Kaplan method for reading comprehension. The first step in the Kaplan method is to actively read the passage, taking notes as you go. The why is more important than the what. This is very important on test day because you don't want to focus on the details during test day because those details will slow you down. You don't have time to be reading all the details in the passage. You just focus on the big picture. The why is more important than the what. Keep straight who said what, and the why is more important than the what. The second step here of the Kaplan method for reading comprehension is examine the question stem looking for clues. The answer is in the passage. So on test day, the test takers commonly try to trip you up by doing the opposite of what was actually said in the passage, tricking you into relying on common knowledge that everybody knows, and they know everybody knows. So don't take the most obvious answer in all cases. Be certain that it actually says what the selection choice that you're choosing in the passage. And the third step in the Kaplan method is predict the answer and select the choice that matches your prediction. So as you're reading the passages, you actively read, going through the passages, trying to decide now why are they asking why are they putting this in, and trying to predict what they're going to ask you in the test. So there's a Kaplan method for math, there's a Kaplan method for reading comprehension, there's a Kaplan method for all sorts of things on the test. So the big key here is if we can master these skills, that will help you read the passages faster, not have to reread the passages during the test, and this way you get more right answers and more points on test day. So let's flip over to page 100. I'm reading on Bubble A, Critical Reading, Finding What Matters. The reading test is always the third section of the ACT, 4 passages in 40 questions presented in 35 minutes. So if you got 40 questions in 35 minutes, that's not a lot of time, is it? So you got to go fast. And how you're going to go fast is you're going to use the Kaplan method by making a passage map in the side of the paragraphs, and actively reading and predicting before you peek. So the passage has 4 genres. And those 4 genres you can put in the blank here is natural science, prose fiction, social studies, and humanities. So Jonathan, what's an example of a genre? It's a word you don't hear. You don't know what genre means? Heather, can you help them out? What does genre mean? Okay, well, genre just means a type of reading, So genre, a type of reading. So So Jonathan, what's your favorite movie? Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars. That's humanities. See, that's great. So you already know types of genres. You'll be able to recognize, um, you know, things in different genres. So the passage map has those 4 genres, and regardless of the topic, the passage on the ACT can be dense, even boring. What makes reading the passages in the test different from reading a magazine or your favorite book? So what would be a reason for that, Heather? What's the difference of reading during the test and reading a passage in your favorite book? You don't know? Okay, okay, Jonathan, you want to help her out? What's different from reading on a test from reading your favorite book? Well, you don't read your favorite book. Okay, you don't read books. Okay, well, you text, right? We all text. Okay, so when you're texting, when your friend texts you at 11 o'clock at night and says, "Where are you?" That could mean a lot of things, right? But you're actively reading it, trying to anticipate, oh, what could that mean? Where am I? It's 11 o'clock on Saturday. Perhaps he's at a club. Perhaps it's time to go party. All right, But if your mother texts you at 11 o'clock on Saturday night, where are you? That could mean something else, right? So you're actively reading those texts that we're all doing all day. Um, the So it's likewise during a test. You're actively reading, you're engaging, fully engaging, trying to use the context of the reading, trying to always ask why. Why is he writing this? Why is this in the test? So in the blank there, the difference is the test reading is the reading to answer the questions that are coming up versus just passively reading for entertainment. You're using the context, like that text message example I just gave you, where you're trying to decide, you're trying to anticipate what the answer is. Why are they writing this? Why did they say this? So in bubble B, the Kaplan method for reading comprehension: actively read, taking notes as you go. Once again, we went through the Kaplan method just now, so actively read, examine the question stem looking for clues, and predict before you peek. So down to number 3, predict before you peek. 3A, what is active reading? And how is that different from passive reading? We just said that, didn't we? That you want to answer the questions, you're reading to answer questions on the test as you read. Bubble point B, ask questions like, what kind of questions? We know you want to ask why, and we know that we don't want to do very many details. So why did the author write this? Why did the author include this word or detail? And then point C, what's important in the passage? The why or the main idea, the topic sentence or the main idea of each paragraph, keywords like but, however, like, example, and similarly. When you see these keywords, but, blah, 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 but, blah, 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 however, blah, 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 like, well, those are kind of keys that those might be test questions. The test writers like to use compare and contrast. They also like to put, they also like to say, this, he said this and she said that. So, and compare the two. So when you see these keywords, she said this, but he said that, she said this, however, he said that, that's a clue that, that's probably going to be, that could be on a test. Pay a little closer attention to that while you're reading. The other thing is opinions. Keep straight who said what. In a lot of the readings, you can, they ask you, George Washington said this, Abraham Lincoln said that. And a common test way they trip you up is they switch them around. In the passage, Abraham Lincoln said this, George Washington said that, but in reality, everybody knows, George Washington said, I cannot tell a lie, and Abraham Lincoln said 20 years ago. Well, okay, everybody knows that, so what they'll do is they'll switch it around in the passage, and you have to base the answers on the passage, not common knowledge. So keep straight who said what. And the author's tone and purpose. There's frequently, on test day, there's frequently questions on, did the author like it? Is he favorable on this topic? Is he unfavorable? So, fortunately, you can think of the ACT as an open book test. You can refer back to the passage for details. And as we went through the Kaplan method, you'll have a little passage map in the margin of the passages. You can't see that from the video, but you'll have a passage map of little notes, taking active notes as you read. You're anticipating what the questions are going to be, and you're actively reading, always asking why. Why is the author writing this? So in summary, you've got that short outline, that concise little word or two in each paragraph, and you're actively reading. Is there any questions about the Kaplan method or what we've covered so far? If not, let's move on and actually read the passage on page 101.